Welcome back to AutoVision News live at AutoSens. We're here in Detroit at the Michigan Science Center for 2 exciting days of ADAS and automotive thought leadership. AutoSens is a best-in-class event that brings together ADAS and autonomous vehicle experts from all across the globe. And the industry experts that you meet and see here at AutoSens are helping to shape the future of mobility. And one of those experts joins us here today, Clement Nouvel. He is the LiDAR Technical Director at Valeo Group. It's a leading supplier in the field of safety and automated driving and a market leader in automotive-grade LiDAR sensors. Now, prior to this position, Clement was Valeo Active Safety Business Development Director, and he held several positions with the Renault-Nissan Alliance, focused on innovation, engineering, and product management, and he was based in both France and Asia. He's currently in charge of Valeo's LiDAR product development, a global team as well, which includes a number of functions ranging from business development to engineering to technology partnerships. Clement, you seem like you're a very busy person.
Nice to be here.
Yes, thank you for being here and taking time for being part of our live broadcast. Clement, tell us a little bit about your role at Valeo and what you do every day.
Yeah, I currently am leading the development of LiDAR,
Yes.
which implies leading the team of around 400 people globally, mostly in Europe, a little bit in the US and in Asia, which are developing Scala, which is our LiDAR lineup.
Yes, so Scala, let's talk about that for a moment. You've got Scala 3. How is that different compared to maybe previous generations or previous products that you've offered?
Yeah, we've been developing Scala 1 initially in order to develop the autonomous driving level 3, which was intended for Audi initially.
Right.
The second generation, Scala 2, which we are going to talk a little bit more about, which is equipping the Mercedes-Benz cars, is currently enabling the level 3 in Mercedes-Benz and has been announced recently.
Right.
Now, Scala 3 does more than Scala 2 in performance in the sense that it can address high-speed situations, which Scala 1 and 2 cannot. Scala 1 and 2 are, in fact, in line with the current regulation, which allows level 3 up to 60 kilometers per hour, 37 miles per hour.
Sure. Sure.
Now, in order to get to a higher speed, you need a better resolution and as well a longer range. That's exactly what Scala 3 is doing.
So better resolution, longer range, Mercedes-Benz Drive Pilot in particular. So tell us about your relationship with Mercedes-Benz and how you're helping Drive Pilot to be a viable solution for drivers.
Yes, we started, in fact, developing Scala 2 for the purpose of developing this, what they call now Drive Pilot, which is the level 3 at Mercedes-Benz. Right. The LiDAR is the key sensor in the car in the sense that for level 1 and 2, you would not need a LiDAR, but for level 3, we need what is called the triple redundancy, which is having the LiDAR on top of radar and cameras in order to fulfill some situations which otherwise the other sensor would not be able to cope with. That's the role. So it's one LiDAR per vehicle.
Right.
It's installed on the grille of the vehicle.
Okay.
And it's our second generation LiDAR. It's exactly what you need for the 60 kph traffic jam level 3.
Right. In addition to what we've been talking about with the Scala 3, what other solutions do you provide for the market? What is your LiDAR position just in general, along with Scala 3? What's the whole picture look like?
Well, first of all, in terms of the product portfolios, we have two lineups.
Okay.
The Scala lineup is the long-range LiDAR.
Okay.
This is mostly for front and rear sensing.
Got it.
To address what is called longitudinal situations, so autonomous driving, where you do not have to change lanes or to turn.
Yes.
We are as well developing what we call near-field LiDAR, which is the short-range LiDAR, which is a little bit the equivalent of the surround view cameras that we already use for mostly maneuvering applications like parking. But in that case, this is a LiDAR that is covering all the surrounding of the vehicle. It's a 360 view, so that you can be sure to restart a robot taxi, for example, from the standstill position absolutely safely. This brings me to the positioning, the market positioning.
Okay.
In fact, we are developing from the beginning LiDARs for autonomous driving and mostly level 3. But we see and we have identified in the market the need for covering level 4 and other kinds of applications such as lane change, which require this near-field LiDAR. And
Okay.
today,
Okay.
our positioning is not only on the level 3 longitudinal type of sensing, but as well level 4 robotaxis. And SCADA 3 is specifically suited actually to fit with the performance requirement of the robotaxi needs. So today we are positioned both for the passenger car vehicles,
Okay.
and as well the robotaxi and trucking application, which require a different level of performance.
Right. So you have a robust product line, a robust solutions that you can provide to the market. So you can serve a lot of different customers, is what I'm trying to say.
That's right, and it's good that you bring this robust aspect,
Yes.
because once you have developed the lidar for level 3 passenger
Yes.
vehicle mass
Yes.
production,
Yes.
it has to be fully safe. It has to comply with the safety requirements of the what we call automotive grade.
Yes. Yes.
Once you have it, and we have it still since 2017 for
Okay.
Audi.
Okay.
Once you have it, you are able to bring that to all the other generations, meaning that our sensors are automotive grade sensors. They have
Yes.
all the reliability and the
Yes.
safety that you need,
Right.
which is needed for both the passenger cars and the robotaxi alike, because they are going on public roads anyways.
Right.
So that's in our DNA. I might also emphasize the fact that we
Please.
are in mass production since
Okay.
2017 for these lidars.
Sure.
So far in terms of volume, we have produced more than 170,000 lidars, which in the automotive industry might seem small, and especially if we compare it to Valeo ultrasonic sensors, we have produced
Sure.
around 1 billion, I think.
Right.
But
Right.
in the lidar space,
Right.
it's the most you could find.
Right.
So we are clearly the incumbent in automotive space. We are today capable of delivering these SCADA 1, 2, 3, and near field lidar in full automotive grade.
Right. I like what you're talking about with triple redundancy, and I think about weather here in Michigan. Obviously, it's hot. It's going to be hot today. It's a warm May day in Michigan, but we have rain in Michigan during the fall and spring, and we have a lot of snow. We have unpredictable driving situations, busy traffic on the main roads here, I-94, M10. That triple redundancy to me sounds like it provides an extra layer of safety, especially for passenger cars and robotaxis. When there's so much out there that's unpredictable on the road.
Yeah. So indeed, the triple redundancy is here to cope with difficult weather conditions, as well as failing sensors. We are in a world where anything could fail, but
Right.
the system has to recognize that something is failing,
Yes.
and instead use the other sensing modalities like the cameras and the radars.
Right.
But when we come to weather, a good autonomous vehicle is not a vehicle that would drive in all, and especially a level 3,
Correct.
in absolutely all situations. That's a system that is able to recognize
Yes.
when the weather conditions are not compatible with autonomous driving and switch off the system. For level 3, this means that the system would hand over the driving in 10 to 15 seconds to the driver.
Right.
And now, if we talk about snow and ice, for example, we do have, since SCADA 1, since our very first sensor, some specific functions which can melt the ice,
Yes.
which implies that you can detect the ice, you
Right.
can trigger the right measures,
Right.
you can then clean the sensor because,
Yes.
of course, when there is snow, there is salt. You would have to clean the salt on the
Yes.
front cover,
Yes.
for
Right.
example.
Right.
All these are kind of underestimated topics for many of the LiDAR
Sure,
players.
sure.
That's something that we do since the very first day.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. One question I have for you, Clement. We're talking quite a bit at AutoSens about the supply chain. One thing I've wondered, was LiDAR affected with the supply chain crisis? And if so, how did LiDAR, how was that impacted through the supply chain shortages?
Yeah, let me zoom out to Valeo first. Valeo
Sure.
didn't cause any supply stop in the
Really?
whole industry. So,
Really?
I mean, Valeo, no customer of Valeo could claim that any line was stopped due to Valeo. So that's the starting point.
Okay.
On LiDAR, obviously, neither.
Okay.
We were quite lucky, and we have managed the cases which needed to manage in order to not have any impact on our supply. So
Sure.
for this part, we are safe.
Right. Clement, last question here. I want to thank you for your time. If our AutoSens attendees or our viewers would like to get in touch with you or would like to get in touch with Valeo, what's the best way that they can reach out to the company to learn more about all the products and solutions you've talked about?
Yeah, so I would say for now, I mean, I can be the entry point for this, we do have business development,
Sure.
and which is visible on Valeo website,
Okay.
and of course they can reach out to me at AutoSens due to connecting
Absolutely.
with my link.
So Clement, we want to encourage all of our viewers, if they're here at AutoSens, to get in touch with Clement. If not, visit the Valeo website to learn more information. Clement, thank you for your time and for your thought leadership and for being with us today. Thank you, of course, for watching. We will be back, kind of a floating clock today. Our broadcast schedule is full today and tomorrow, but with all of the different events going on here at the Michigan Science Center, we kind of are on a floating clock today. So we thank you in advance. If you are watching on the LinkedIn live stream, we thank you in advance for being flexible as we have all this action here at AutoSens. We will return shortly, momentarily, in a little while, with more from AutoSens Detroit 2020 at the Michigan Science Center.